Hi guys! This week we are going to be learning how to make a slider or platform game. This is a lot like the Mario type slider games, but we're going to be using Codemoji characters. So here you guys can see I have a screen setup of a project I've already made. It's got Bolts, the robot, and Bamboo the panda from Codemoji. And it says, can you help Bolt find Bamboo? So that's the object of the game. So I'm going to press the green go flag. And it says, collect 10 stars to find Bamboo, but make sure to avoid the snakes. So here we're going to be collecting stars. And you can see that the game platform is all scrolling, and there's our first snake. But we are going to make a game much similar to this. So it makes everything look animated, look like he is actually scrolling along. But yeah, so I am very excited to show you guys this. So I'm gonna have it show us game over, because there's gonna be two options. Game lost if you are touched by a snake, if you can't get 10 stars, but if you get 10 stars, then I will show you what that looks like as well. So here I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when you actually win the game, because it's going to have two different endings. Here I've collected all 10 stars, and it says, yay, you found me. And it shows the little stars above his head. So yeah, you guys are going to take a go at it today and see what progress you guys can make on this game. This first video, I have this split up into 3 parts. This first video is just going to be this first part is just going to be the sprites. So we're just going to be making the sprites for the game, just because it'll be too long if I keep them all together, so I'm going to split them up. So here now we're going to go back to the original Scratch page. I'm already logged in. If you have an account, I would suggest logging into that. If you don't, think about making one. But you're going to go to the Create tab up in the top left. And once you're there, you should see a screen similar to this. It'll have Scratchy the sprite already over in the side, but this main white spot was our coding page. Then we've got our sprites, and then our program viewer. And so we're going to be using Codemoji characters, so we don't want Scratchy the sprite, so we're going to delete him. And we're going to go actually to the Codemoji page in a second, because we want Bolts and Bamboo. And you can use different Codemoji characters if you want. I'll just show you how to generally get a Codemoji character picture downloaded. But here I already have the Codemoji page pulled up. It's just codemoji.com. And you're going to go to the playground, and you see Bamboo is already there. You're going to go click characters. Once you're at characters, you are going to right click if you've got a mouse, or 2-finger click if you have a laptop board, and you're going to do save image as, or save image to downloads. Okay, so I'll show that with Bolts and Panda. And you'll have a little pop-up, and it'll ask you where you want to save it to. I didn't show that for safety reasons, as I have secure information on my desktop that I can't share with you guys. But then from there, once you go back to the code, Scratch code page, you are going to click upload sprite. Okay, so I will re-show that. So here I'll show that again. You'll just click that top upload sprite down in the bottom right, and then you'll have your 2. Okay. If you need to go back and pause and rewatch that section, please do. I know I went a little bit quick through that, but now we're going to go click a backdrop. So backdrops were down by that sprite side, and you just click the same sort of sprite logo, but over to the right, and we're going to choose blue sky. Okay, so we'll have that in the back. Again, you guys can choose whichever backdrop you want. From there, we're going to start painting some different sprites. We are going to do our start screen, okay? So here I did my first start screen as, can you help Bolt find Bamboo? And then I also had a second start screen that tells the objective of the game, okay? So I'm going to show you guys quick how to do that. You'll make a blank square, rectangle, and then I'm just going to edit it a little bit by copying, which you can do by clicking that copy, and then dragging our Codemoji characters in there and resizing them. Please feel free to pause where you need to, but you'll be copying and pasting up in the top portion of the sprite section those Codemoji characters. If you want a different screen, that's totally fine. This is how I'm doing it. And then I'll draw a little wonky little path to him, but I didn't like that one. I'll make it a little bit thicker. So we'll do this one. And then there. I feel pretty good about that. If you look over at the text, you can start to write your game opening text. And so I did, can you help Bolt to find bamboo? And over on the program viewer, on the right top corner of our screen, you can see that it shows, can you help Bolts to find bamboo? And the rest of our screen. So it's all fitting pretty well. So there I'm going to just add a couple more aspects to my front page. Again, you guys can make your front page however you want. Just make sure it is centered in the program viewer as you see in the top right corner how mine is, okay? So once you are comfortable with that, then we are going to paint over on the left corner. We're going to paint a new costume. So bottom left corner, we clicked paint. And we are going to make a second costume because we want that second screen that tells the objective of the game. So I'm pretty much going to do the same exact thing, just a couple different variations. So I'll do that for you guys now while you watch. Got to resize some things just because this is going to take up a different amount of space. I'll add some more text over on the left hand side, and we've been in the vector portion the whole time of this creating our start screen, just because the bitmap, we haven't needed to use that. We will use the convert to bitmap option in the bottom left portion of our screen later on for different sprites, okay? Yeah, so there I have collect 10 stars to find bamboo. I'm going to change the color of the next text so it's more like a snake color, which I think is like green. And then I'm going to say, but be careful of the snakes, okay? So it kind of lets them know what they should expect. And so for this game, I'm going to have that first two start screens. You can do one, you can do no start screens. Just make sure you're paying attention if you decide to do none at all. So I'm going to rename that sprite start screen just to keep track of it. Now we're going to paint another sprite, and this time it's going to be the ground sprite. Okay? So we want our ground in the bottom part, so we're just going to do another rectangle like that, and we'll give it a color that's like ground color. Maybe some grass. Let's do some dirt color, and then we'll paint grass on in a second. So here I've got a brown color for our dirt, for our ground. Then we're just going to use the paint option. And this is going to be all fast for you guys because I don't want you guys to have to watch me paint grass. But I just did a very, very quick little painting for some grass. And there, now I'm going to color in all of that grass. It does not have to be perfect. I'm not making it perfect at all. I'm just making it look like some fun grass. And then from there, we want to make sure that we just make it a little bit bigger so it fits in our program viewer over in the top right corner better. So it fits as it should in the way that you guys saw my game. And so there, I'm just going to drag it out a little bit more like that. That makes the grass pretty big. I don't know if I'll keep that. I'll test it out later, but keep it like that for now. And I'm going to hide the other things. And there you can see we've got the grass in the sky. Okay? So after doing that, we're going to paint another option. Actually, this time we're going to choose a sprite. And we want to get our star and our snake. So we're going to go choose star. And that was just in the choose a sprite option and just search star. You can use other gems if you want, but next I'm going to choose a snake sprite. And you can use whatever scary animal you want as well. Snake was easier to make it look like it was slithering, so I decided to use that one. So now we have our snake, and we're going to make it turn in the correct direction. First, we're going to delete the other costumes, because I had 2 other ones when it came with, but we're going to turn it to face left, since it's going to be coming at the robot. And then we're going to create a second costume of the same exact snake, and we copied that. And we're going to make it look like it slithered. So we're going to go to convert to bitmap. We're going to use that second to last, or that last object on the left-hand side of the screen, and allows you to click and drag and then minimize or grow certain things. This one, the first one, we're also going to convert to bitmap so they look the same, but there you can see it kind of looks like the snake's back is moving just because we changed the size of it. You can paint your own snake and make it look like that. But for now, we are going to go on to creating some borders. So it looks more like a game screen. And I totally did this out of preference. You do not have to do it. But I thought it made the game look more like an actual game. And remind me a little bit more of like the Mario Kart, or Super Mario and Slider games. Now we're going to be doing a game over screen. So the way that we want to do our game over screen, making a black screen and using the text game over. And I had a costume one, which is just a black screen as well. And this was because I'm going to use it to transition later on in the game, so it makes the animation at the end look interesting. But now we've got all of our sprites. I'm going to go rename all of them just to keep track. Oh, and I forgot one thing actually. We need to do the clouds. So that I made the clouds by doing a bunch of different circles and dragging those out. And right now they're purple so you guys can see it. But then I'm just going to change it all to white by highlighting all of them. And there in the program viewer, you guys can see that they are white. And then I'm going to add some bluish details onto them. I know they have clouds in the choose a sprite option. If you want to do that, you can as well. But for your guys's viewing, and also to see if you guys want to make your own clouds, I just showed you quick how to do it. So once we've done that, we have created all of our sprites for our game. We created bolts, we created bamboo, our start screen, our ground, stars, snake, borders, game over screen, and our clouds. So I will see you guys for part 2, where we will actually start to code this video. But yeah, I am very excited to teach you guys how to code this game. If you need to go back and rewatch how I made any of the sprites, please do. But as long as you have or 2 characters, one that is playing the game and one that needs to be found, as well as a enemy or something that needs to be jumped over, so in this case a snake, as well as a sort of treasure or something that the main character needs to grab, such as the star. You don't have to have the game over, the start screens, any of that, the borders, but that's just how I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So I will see you guys for the next video. It's part 2. Bye!